Welcome, everyone. Before we get started, we have a message from our Spanish language interpreter staff. Please go ahead when you're ready.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, everyone. I'm going to start in Spanish and I'll quickly go back to English. Muy buenas tardes y bienvenidos y bienvenidas a este evento. Para conectarse y participar en español, por favor, vayan a la parte inferior de la pantalla donde dice 3 puntos más. Seleccionen interpretación, español y terminado para escuchar toda esta reunión y esta información tan importante en español. Cualquier pregunta, por favor, déjenos saber. Pero de nuevo, 3 puntos, español, interpretación, español y terminado para que se active la función. Muchas gracias. Should there be any comments in Spanish and you want to hear them in English? It's quite easy. You go to the 3 dots where it says more at the bottom of your screen. You click on it. It'll give you a little icon that says interpretation, and you click there and you put English. That way, if there are comments in Spanish, you will hear them in English. All right. That's all for me. I'll send it back to you, Chris. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Murtado. Welcome again to the North Carolina Council on Developmental Disabilities Self-Advocate Discussion Series. I am Chris Hendricks, Policy Education Coordinator for the Council. On behalf of the Council, thank you all so much for being here. This discussion series is a place for North Carolina self-advocates to gather and engage with each other, to talk about things that affect our lives as people experiencing life with IDD and other disabilities. We want this time together to be used to get to know each other and to get to know the Council, where I and other individuals with IDD are leaders, colleagues, and valued for our input because we are who we are. People with disabilities should always be valued like that, and this discussion series will demonstrate why and how. First, let's talk about maintaining community guidelines and lessening distractions. Let's use direct chat for side conversations rather than the Everyone tab, and please don't put lengthy resource information in the chat. Free to send a direct chat message to me or my colleague Melissa Schwartz if the resource information is longer than an email address or website address. Speaking of resources, as a reminder, there will be a post-session email. It's going to include our guest speaker's contact information, should she be willing to share, resources and opportunities discussed today, along with all the PowerPoint slides, and an edited chat from the Zoom for any important information that we pick up from there. And next, we get to move on to one of my favorite parts of our discussion, and my colleague Philip Woodward's favorite part, I'm sure. Let's ease into our chat today with the jokes of the day. First, we have, how did the hearing aid win the music contest? It had the best sound judgment in the room, of course. But next, why are mobility scooters great under pressure? They know how to roll with the punches. Oh, man. I hope that at least got a little smile, if not a little chuckle. You noticed, or you may have noticed, that our humor is often related to our topic, and that's no exception today. So now it's time to get into it. What is assistive technology? Assistive technology is any tool, device, or software that helps people complete tasks more easily. It can be something simple, like a pencil grip or large plate label, or something high-tech, like speech-to-text apps. The main purpose of assistive technology is to support independence and confidence in everyday life. These tools help people at home, school, work, and in the community. They can support communication, mobility, learning, and organization. Many people use assistive technology without even realizing it. There is almost always a tool that can help someone do a task in a way that feels comfortable and successful. Assistive technology is important because it helps remove barriers that can make tasks challenging. With the right tools, people can focus on what they can do instead of what feels difficult. For example, screen readers help people who are blind or have low vision, and communication apps help people express themselves when speaking is hard. Mobility tools like walkers or power chairs help people move around safely. Devices like noise-canceling headphones can help manage sensory overload. Assistive technology gives people more control, more choices, and more independence. It helps people participate fully in their communities and daily activities. Assistive technology matters even more in 2026 because technology is improving faster than ever. Devices today are smarter, easier to use, and more affordable. Many tools connect to phones or tablets, making them portable and customizable. Artificial intelligence can help with reading, writing, navigating buildings, and understanding social situations. More workplaces, schools, and public spaces now use technology to be accessible to everyone. As people learn about assistive technology, they can find tools that match their unique needs and goals. This makes 2026 an exciting time to explore new technology that supports independence and inclusion. Now, for many, many reasons, it is my absolute pleasure to formally introduce our special guest speaker for today, Christy Kirk. Christy Kirk serves as the Western Regional Manager for the North Carolina Assistive Technology Program, where she has dedicated the past 6 years to expanding access to assistive technology and empowering individuals across the region. She holds a bachelor's degree in human occupational studies with a minor in psychology from Lenore-Ryan University, as well as an associate's degree in occupational therapy assistance from Central Piedmont Community College. Christy is a RESNA certified assistive technology professional and a licensed certified occupational therapy assistant. With her blend of clinical experience, technical expertise, and passion for inclusive solutions, she brings a comprehensive perspective to advancing independence and improving quality of life through assistive technology. Thank you so much, Christy. Let's give a warm self-advocate welcome and applause in any way you feel fit for our special guest presenter.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, Christy. We'll be putting your presentation up on the big screen, as it were.
Christy, you're prepared to share your own slides, you said?
Oh, yep, I can do that. I'm sorry.
My mistake.
If you have any trouble with the screen share, I'm happy to go.
You can go ahead because
Okay.
I'll have to pull it back. Yep, that'll probably be easier. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. Here we go.
All right. Okay. So welcome everyone. So this is our introductory slide of NCCDD and North Carolina Assistive Technology Program. So Assistive Technology for Independence. Our next slide. And you've already kind of met me already, but this is just a slight introduction of me. Everything that Chris has already said about me is on this slide. My name is Christy Kirk, and I have been with North Carolina Assistive Technology Program since August of 2020. All right, so we'll just go to our next slide then. Okay, so just a little bit about NCATP. the North Carolina Assistive Technology Program. We are a state and federally funded program that's created under the 21st Century Assistive Technology Act. And this act is to increase statewide access and awareness of assistive technology to the public, to people of all ages and all disabilities, and all abilities, excuse me. Each state has their own program. They just determine how to carry out their program. So in North Carolina, ours falls under the Department of Health and Human Services, and we're administered under the Division of Employment and Independence for People with Disabilities, which was formerly Vocational Rehab. We just changed our name in North Carolina. So we're kind of tucked under there. On our next slide, we'll talk about our centers, but NCATP, we serve all ages experiencing difficulties with daily activities, professionals in disability-related fields, family members and caregivers, and employers and employees in the public and private settings. So pretty much everyone. So on this slide here, we have a map of North Carolina, and all of the counties, the 100 counties, are divided up and they're sorted into different colors. There are 6 different colors. And so our NCATP has 9 centers across the state. We have one in Silva. We have one in Morganton, which is where I'm at. One in Charlotte, one in Greensboro, one in Winston-Salem, one in Raleigh, one in Sanford. We have one in Greenville, and then one in Flemington. So we cover the entire state. Okay, on our next slide. So the services that North Carolina Assistive Technology provides. So per the 21st Century Assistive Technology Act, there are services that we provide from this act. So these are hands-on, they could either be virtual or recorded demonstrations of assistive technology. We provide short-term loans. This could either be like a no-contact drops where we kind of would take it to your home or you just kind of come pick it up, or we can ship them as well. And our short-term loans are anywhere from about 2 weeks to a month, really depending on the items. We do information, community referrals, and resources. We provide awareness activities, so we'll go to different vendor events and also even host our own events. Information on funding resources. We try to be knowledgeable of the funding for assistive technology. And we also partner with Self-Help Credit Union for alternative financing. And so they
sorry, I
provide
meant to text Philip.
a low interest loan.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I can. He'll have to use video phone.
And then we also have our reuse program. And then we have fee-based services. So our fee-based services, we do assistive technology and AAC assessment. So those are our speech generating devices. We provide farm assessments and workplace consultations, and even just consultations in general. And we also do trainings for individuals and groups, because if I've done an assessment with a client and I've determined that we need, like, let's say we need a head mouse and switches and then maybe a modified keyboard. Like, within our assessment, we kind of really touched on how to use those. However, we need to really teach the individuals how to use those devices. So the carryover for utilizing the device within their environment is provided. And then we provide technical assistance. Our next slide. So we've talked about, Chris did talk about assistive technology and what that is. So assistive technology, per our act, is any item or piece of equipment, whether acquired commercially, off the shelf, modified, or customized that is used to increase, maintain, or improve functional capabilities of an individual with disabilities. Next slide. And so then there are different levels of assistive technology, not levels, sorry, categories. We'll get to levels in a second. So we have augmentative and alternative communication. Those are your speech generating devices, activities of daily living, computer access, environmental controls, hearing, vision, learning and cognition, positioning, mobility, and seating, vehicle modifications, I already said vision, and recreation and gaming. So as North Carolina Assistive Technology Program, we address all of these except positioning, mobility, and seating, and vehicle modifications. Those are two areas of assistive technology that require other individuals to make modifications and or provide the correct recommendations for those products. So positioning, mobility, and seating would be like your walkers, canes, positioning, like cushions, things along those lines. So that would be like an occupational therapist or physical therapist. We don't fit anyone for any of those types of devices. And then vehicle modifications would be like changing our foot pedals to hand controls on a vehicle. So you would need a certified driving rehab specialist to assist with making those recommendations and then making those modifications. Next slide. And then we have different levels of assistive technology. There's light, mid, and high tech. And Chris did touch on this a little bit. So our light tech, there's no maintenance to it, like low maintenance. They're usually maybe free or low cost, and they're not electronic. So your pencil grips, or even like a reacher, or if you had a sock aid, or even something that you would put on your spoon to make it bigger to hold. Those will all be like mid-tech devices. Light tech devices. Our mid-tech devices, there's some maintenance required to it. There's some training required, and there's light electronics components with this. I like to say if it like takes a battery, then it's probably more of our light electronics. Now things are kind of transitioning into most of our things having a rechargeable battery. So some of those kind of get blurry now. But then we have our more high tech. There's typically more maintenance, so more software updates. It requires training, and there's more complex electronics. So like if we have eye gaze devices or our speech generating devices, even just our computers, and like our environmental controls can be considered more of like our high tech things. Okay, next slide. And so our next few slides here, we're just kind of talking about the different categories of assistive technology and what they do. I'm going to kind of just be brief on these because I want to provide enough time for you to ask questions if needed. So within vision, there's going to provide magnification, voice outputs, color contrasting, glare reduction, large print, and or tactile markers. So those would all help an individual with a visual impairment and or blind to engage in a task. Next slide. So we have hearing that's going to adjust our volume control. It could be signaling and alerting. It could have a visual display such as our captioning, vibrating products, and even relay. Next slide. Okay. And then we have speech communications, which you kind of talked about. Our speech generating devices. The majority of the ones we kind of see are the like tablets, and you push the buttons and they talk. But it could be some text to speak where you type it out and it talks for you, or even utilizing your eyes or a laser on a board that would that you have that might be yes, no, or it could be symbol boards. So those all assist an individual with any type of communication. All right, our next slide. learning and cognition. So this area, I just feel like this is a forgotten area with assistive technology that we don't really think about. But this could be like our reminders, memory aids, sequencing tools, writing helpers, organizational apps. So anything that's going to help someone that has like an executive functioning issues, or like just with daily organization or processing um, information. These would all be within our learning and cognition area. Next slide. Then we have mobility and seating. And so those are your canes, walkers, wheelchairs, scooters, barrier-free lifts, bath lifts, and band lifts, those types of things. Which we do have some of these items within our centers for loan, like some shower chairs or like we have knee scooters and things like that, but we will not fit individuals for those devices. I just kind of want to reiterate that we will not fit individuals for any mobility device. We recommend that you would then, like if you loan that device out, you would then go contact like your physical therapist and or your doctor or occupational therapy so that they can help do training on utilizing that device in the safe way. Next slide. And then we have daily living, activities of daily living. So that's going to be bathing, self-feeding, grooming, dressing, medication management. Anything you do to yourself falls within our daily activities. Okay, next slide. Environmental controls. So with the addition of the smart home systems, this has made environmental controls way more affordable and just easier for everyone. So you can control your lights, you control your thermostats, you can control your door. I can turn on, like if I had one connected to a tea kettle, I could turn that on within utilizing my voice and or the app. So like remote, and then more of our low tech, mid tech ones would be like remote controlled outlets. So just environmental adaptations or anything that we can utilize to control our environments. There is a picture of here that has a speech generating device on there, and some of the programs and companies within the speech generating area, they have worked with the A lady. I'm not going to say her name because she will talk, or any of our smart speakers brands. They've worked with them so that they have a separate page on their devices, a communication device, to ask, like to do the wake words for that. So our next slide. And then we have recreation, sports, and leisure. So this could be our adaptive gaming. So we have adaptive Xbox controllers, adaptive PlayStation 5 controllers, adaptive controllers for the Switch, and even just modifications and adaptations for computer access. So we have 3 centers within NCATP, that have dedicated gaming areas. So at that time, whenever we were able to purchase, we brought in devices and that were suited for adaptive gaming. So Morganton, Wilmington, and Sanford are all adaptive gaming centers. So we have PlayStation 5, we have a Switch, we have the Xbox, we have Oculus, and we have a gaming computer to kind of demonstrate and show how we can modify like someone's ability to participate with gaming. You're not changing the game at all for gaming. We just changing how the person accesses gaming. But then recreations can also be like our adaptive sports. We have basketball, baseball, golf, tennis, pickleball, kayaking is another thing. If you've gone within some of our North Carolina state parks, they have motorized chairs that you can rent to traverse the trails. And those are all free. So, I mean, that's all within our recreation, leisures, and sports. All right, next slide. Okay. Vehicle modifications, I had mentioned before, this is not an area NCATP covers. We source that out to a certified driving rehab specialist, but these are examples of what vehicle modifications could be. So it could be like a transfer board to get in and out, which NCATP would do that one. If you're able to get in and out of it, then in and out of the vehicle, we would assist with that. But making other modifications like adding spinner knobs or hand controls to the vehicles, those will be things that your certified driving rehab specialist would do. Our next slide. And then we have computer access. So this is anything and everything we can do to change how or modify how someone will access a computer. And that could be from any type of alternative mouse inputs. So we can change our mice to be like more ergonomic, or utilizing our eyes, like with eye gaze, or utilizing a head mouse, any of those different types of mice. Alternative keyboards, changing the size and or shape of a keyboard that's going to suit someone, making the keyboard an on-screen keyboard, and just even ergonomic devices in general. So ergonomic chair, which I am sitting in, maybe if you a high-low desk, if you want to more sit to stand. So all of those things kind of go in within our computer access. All right. So save the date, which we have already have the registration up, and I can send the link if anyone is send our link and flyer if anyone is interested. So every year, North Carolina Assistive Technology Program, we have our AT Expo, and it is September 17th, and it's free and open to the public, and it's in Raleigh, and it'll be from 9 to 4 on September 17th. Next slide. I believe that is all. So if anyone has any questions, I'm open for questions.
All right, this is Chris. Christy, thank you for a wonderful presentation. I was especially inspired by some of the cognitive devices and memory. I hadn't thought of that. But I just want to take a moment to go through our guests in an effort to inspire. That if you choose to do so, you might come off camera if you'd like to ask questions for Christy. Larry, Kim, Marilyn, Georgette, Brittany, Kaya, Jennifer, Jenna, Carol, Maze, Ruth, and Yvonne. If any of you have any interest in technology, now is your chance, my friends. And I think we should learn all that we can about all of this technology, at least so that we can make sure that they're our friends before the robots take over the earth.
Hello, can you hear me?
Sure can. That's Yvonne, I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, only my other device works, so I missed half of the meeting. There's a assistive technology rule. I didn't know about that law in 2021. What is it define of this? What is it define a assistive technology as?
So our 21st Century Assistive Technology Act.
Yeah, that I didn't know about that at all.
So that act is how our assistive technology programs have been formed. It was updated in 2021. So it did have that's why they just kind of changed the name, because they did change some of the modifications. But our programs, the assistive technology programs, have been around, I believe, since 1990-ish, in that period of time. But they had to define assistive technology to show everyone, and even our government, because that's where our federal money comes from, that we are providing a service for individuals, and this is what we're providing our services on. So if you ever do happen to do an assist, like come to one of our centers and like loan out a piece of equipment, on our loan sheet, we ask some questions, and all of that information is really just so we can track data to send back to the government, essentially, to say we're doing our part for our AT Act for that funding.
Okay, so that defines, so what does it define? I want to know all the devices they define as communication devices, so I can know what's a communication device besides a keyboard or something.
Well, communication devices could be like a picture. It could be like a board that you have words on and that someone's just pointing to them to talk. It could be even just gestures, so like, no, I don't want to do that, or yes, like you're shaking your head, yes. So
I guess anything A to Z, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty much everything. That's all. Yeah.
One more question: do you think this act was going to be dismantled, because everything's being dismantled now? And I don't want to get into the details, but that angers me that everything's being dismantled.
We have not heard of anything about that with ours, because we have our AT3 is who is the agency or program, or they are responsible for managing our act and kind of being that relay between the programs and the government. And there has not been any indication that our act is going to be changed or anything like that.
Okay, that's good news, because things are like going away, and I've been reading about this. I'm not just guessing, So, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yvonne, thank you so much for that question. Christy, I'm going to put...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, my apologies. Christy, I want to put my citizen hat on for a second. I was really interested to hear about the cognitive technology, particularly some of the things around memory. Can you just expand on that a little bit for me?
So we can utilize just some of our smart speakers and even reminders or organizational apps to help provide those jogs of memory, we'll say. So like if you needed it for medications, like you need to make sure you take your medications every day. Or like I had a client, she needed to get up and take a break from her desk, because physically later and cognitively later, she would suffer if she did not. So I found programs that would sort of essentially lock her out of her computer. So that would trigger her like, oh, now it's time, I need to get up, I need to go walk around.
Well,
so I think it's really going to depend on, assistive technology is very specific to an individual, specific to an environment. So depending on what you're looking at and what you might need it for is sort of what shapes what we sort of look at, because it's not a one size fits all. And there are times where they overlap. Like vision things can also be used for individuals that have processing deficits.
Wow. Fascinating to me. Thank you so much, Christy. We've got time for maybe one more question before we continue. Does anyone else? Leslie, you have your hand up.
Yeah, thank you for this. I am wondering if you have used that the pen, the reading pen, and how many I guess it's the GBO pen. What are, if you have, or if you know people who've used that, what are the reactions to that in, just sometimes what are the reactions to some, that is, just have you used it and what are the reactions?
Okay. So that pen is called, it's on the cognitive learning and cognitive side. Yep, that one. That pen is called the C pen. And C pen, reader pen. And then there's also one called a scanning pen. And what it does is you take printed text and you essentially, like, you're highlighting it, and then it'll highlight the line on the screen, and then it reads it back to you. You can also, the programs also define the word. It could also translate it. I think that's a good one for if you just are wanting to do something short. So, like, say I have my notes here. I'm trying to do it without my hands. Like, I have my notes here and I just really needed to read a couple of lines. That's a good one for that if you want it to read it out to you, or if you have trouble with that one word. But if you want something that's going to take a picture of the entire page and read that out to you, we would look at some other items which are really kind of more geared towards individuals that have visual impairments. But to answer your question about what's their reactions, for individuals who really could utilize these and these pens, it's been very helpful. So, for example, I have a Caldwell a day program in Caldwell County comes to my center. I'd say probably quarterly, because we have spaced it out, and they check out based on the goals of the individuals that are there that day. They'll check out different pieces of equipment to help them sort of aid them in reaching their goals. And I've checked out my scanning pen multiple times for clients, for their clients, to just work with like some spelling, and then also work with just identifying the words.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christy,
You're welcome.
for the presentation and taking questions. We're going to jump back over to our slides for just a moment, where we put out a quick poll, an attendee poll. This is where, once again, you all let us know as council members, our council staff, whether we're doing a good job or not. So be honest and be upfront with us. I'm going to read out the questions briefly. First, I am a self-advocate, parent, family member, or neither. Number 2, I live in an urban area / big city or rural area / small town. Number 3, I think the self-advocate discussion series is good, bad, or I don't know. Number 4, I learned from the self-advocate discussion series always, sometimes, or never. Number 5, I use the Spanish language interpretation feature. Once again, your feedback on this poll is really important and helps us improve the program as from month to month and overall as council staff. So thank you for taking the moment. And Christy, just so you know, in the chat, my colleague Melissa says, thank you, Christy, with double exclamation points. We really enjoyed the information that you shared and learned many things about assistive technology. Now, the next section is about you, our attendees. So if you're here with us, whether you're on screen or not, we are really happy that you're here. You'll see or notice 4 questions before you. You can answer any one or all of these questions. I'll read them out real quick, and then feel free to come off camera and show yourself. Raise your hand if you're able. Feel free to raise your Zoom hand, or feel free to share your answers in the chat if that's easier for you. I'm going to read the questions out first, and then once again, to honor you, I'm going to go through the names of our attendees in order to encourage any potential participation. So first of all, what types of AI have you used is question 1. Question 2, what types of assistive technology have you used? Sorry about that. Number 2, how has assistive technology made your life better? Number 3, what assistive technology is still needed? And what assistive technology do we need more of? And number 4, are you comfortable with using AI as part of assistive technology? Once again, this goes out to our attendees, Larry Sampson, Laura Newell, Leslie Cook, Kim McQuay, Marilyn Edwards, Georgette Yarborough, Jennifer Page, Brittany Ellis, Kaya Dark, Abathia Barrett, Jenna Gallo, Carol Brown, Maze Muhammad, and Yvonne Bell. Carol shared in the chat, assistive technology used, Ring communication programs on the iPad, and the Google Calendar. Amen for that. I cannot function without a Google Calendar or an Outlook calendar, and I've been trained well thanks to my colleague Melissa Schwartz. Does anyone have any questions? Or if anyone would like to share? Kaya, we miss you already. Once again, everyone, now is your chance. I think technology is pretty cool. Please share your experiences if you're able. Larry Sampson in the chat says communication devices.
I would say the headphones. I use noise canceling headphones, and being on the spectrum, it's very, very helpful for me. And I encourage noise canceling headphones to everybody I work with that needs them.
Leslie, thank you very much. I too utilize noise canceling headphones. Laura in the chat says that she's sorry to be arriving late and has missed out on all of it, but the reading pin, but my husband uses this device to pull up his socks. Well, that's cool. Thank you for sharing, Laura. Philip, you have your hand up. Go ahead, Philip.
Yes, this is Philip Woodward here as a STEM change manager at the council. I'm hard of hearing, so in addition to my hearing aids, which I've worn since I was 4.5 years old, I use an assistive technology app on my smartphone called Live Transcribe. I'm holding it up right now. It captions everything that the microphone hears, and it works great. But it has trouble understanding or captioning people who have cerebral palsy or speech disabilities. So I would love to see that type of technology improve and be able to accurately caption people with different types of speech disabilities as well as different types of accents to help people like me who are hard of hearing more easily have a conversation with everyone. Thank you for letting me share that.
Philip, thank you so much for sharing. And you're getting thumbs up from Leslie in the chat. And I just want to say, Tabathea Barrett says, depending on how it's used, I am okay with AI being a part of assistive technology. That's a great comment.
Hey, I was just going to say that I have a thing on my phone too that will talk, but sometimes it really kind of messes it up because it doesn't always understand people's speech real well, like what Philip was saying. So, um, you have to kind of figure out what it's trying to say. So, it's helpful, but it's not as helpful as it could be. So
Yeah.
I'd like to see an improvement on that as well. I know my family uses a Marco Polo, like a video chat with each other, and I have it set to where it will talk, write out the transcript as well. And of course, it doesn't always understand what you're saying, but I can kind of figure it out. It's just helpful because I'm kind of hard of hearing as well, and so
Well said.
yeah. And I've used I've used like Copilot and Gemini for my pictures for my book. It will be coming out soon. So.
Yes, it will. Congratulations. Laura, that's a great share. I have thank you for sharing that. You're getting claps in the chat. I've got a quick question for Christy. So in all your experience around assistive technology, in your opinion, what are one or two of some of the coolest things that you've seen come out of assistive technology in recent years? Maybe in 2026 even.
Well, I really like the Jayco robotic arm. So this is like it's a robotic arm that attaches to a motorized wheelchair, and you use switches, which are just buttons that are connected to your chair to control the arm. So it becomes an assistant for the individuals. Like they could pick up their cups, they could bring it closer to their mouth, they could grab a book off a shelf, they could grab, you know, something off of a shelf or flip the page in a book, and they're awesome. And let's see. I'm looking around my office to see like kind of what. I mean, I think they're all like really cool. I do like the caption companion. That one is a captioning device. It's a tablet, and everything is built in. The software is built in within that device. You do not have to be connected to the internet, and it captions great. Very accurate. So I think that those are probably about the two favorites thus far. Well, not favorites, but like more.
Thank you. Someone who I assume balances their time between a passion for advocacy and a passion for technology, as your PowerPoint shared. It must be cool to just sort of bear witness to the stuff coming out these days.
Oh, okay. No, when I got one more thing to tell you then.
Oh.
So there is, when I went to ATIA a couple of years ago, I was fitted with a brain, essentially it's a program that reads your brainwaves to do an action. So it's since I've gone there, it's come a long way, like their device, because at that point you had to like really get into like split my hair, like really part it. You had to wet the nodes down with saline solution to get it connected, and then you set it was connected to a computer, but we set it to parameters of like when I thought of a specific thing, it created an action. So I was thinking of like lift, and it created an action to activate a toy. But now I've seen it where it's just like a headband. And I don't know the whole ins and outs of it because it's been a couple of years. But that one I think is very cool.
Thank you so much. That sounds very, very cool and wild at the same time. Tabithia Barrett says, I really enjoyed Christy's presentation and learned a lot of great information. Is NC Assistive Technology a referral process via insurance or provider referral in order to get a family member services or resources? ?
Okay, so NCATP,
Yeah.
we'll do I guess two different things.
Hey.
We have our free services where we'll do demonstrations and loans, kind of just show you what's out there, maybe in that specific environment. But then we also have our fee for service, which are AT assessments and things along those lines. We do not accept insurance, so they are a self-funded assessments and trainings. A lot of our clients that do get AT assessments are from some of our agencies like EIPD or Independent Living or within the school system. But anyone can make a referral to NCATP. It would then, I don't want to say it's like, it would then kind of come back to how are we going to like fund that to pay for an assessment. NCATP does not have any funding to purchase any assistive technology, though. We are just your resource to show you what's out there and we can try to help find funding, but we do not have funding to purchase devices for clients.
Understood. Well, thanks to your wonderful presentation, and thanks for everyone who was willing to share today. We're going to take the last couple minutes that we have to go through some resources. So first of all, the NC Assistive Technology Expo, Thursday, September 17th, 2026, at the McKimmon Center in Raleigh, for anyone who's interested in attending. Next, we've got, of course, the website for the NC Assistive Technology program. Next, we have...
This is Melissa, if you don't mind me interrupting. What is a pre-conference and what is the pre-conference for? Christy, if you don't mind my asking.
Yes. Okay. So our pre-conference is going to be on the 16th, and we are going to have a speaker, and her name is Leslie Fisher. And what she is going to be providing in two sessions. One is going to be from 9 to 12, and then the second one is from 1 to 4. And the 9 to 12 is Beyond Basics, Exploring Gemini and AI Innovations to Support Accessible Education. And then the second session at 1 is Building Inclusive Workplaces, Microsoft Accessibility Tools, and more. So this is our pre-conference is the only thing that has a cost for attendees. The one session, to attend one session, it's $50, and to attend both sessions, it's $75. And we are going to have you can get a certificate for professional development hours. And if you're like a rehabilitation counselor and need CRC credits, you will get those as well within that. But this session is really focused on or this one is really focused on AI and all of the different AIs kind of out here. And I've seen Leslie Fisher in person, and she does a great job at really kind of showing you what's out there and what can be utilized. And I've actually even adopted some of the things that she introduced within the session that I saw.
Thank you so much, Christy. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris, for letting me bust in. Go ahead.
No, it's that's really important. I sort of skipped over that. Apologies. Once again, this resource page shows the NC Assistive Technology Program website, and below that is the Assistive Technology Industry Association website for something a bit more in depth. Next, we have some opportunities. We've got the Council Presents. It's every fourth Thursday of the month, and for this month it is the Olmsted decision. September is Work Together NC, and October is NCCDD's 5-year state plan. So what it is that we're diving into over the next 5 years, and the time for that is it's on Zoom, and it's at 1 p.m. again, the fourth Thursday of every month. Feel free to check out the link. And did you know that you can watch and listen to all the Self-Advocate discussion series sessions in English and Spanish? So for anyone that has missed any, you can go onto our website and take a look at the video. July 15th, we focused on the 36th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And June was voting rights, and we've got a pretty important election coming up, so that's important. And Laura, we'll be sending out these resources, including that website, Laura, in a post-session email that I'm going to get to everyone here just as soon as possible. And our next Self-Advocate discussion series, September 16th, is in preparation for National Disability Employment Awareness Month, which is in October. And October 21st is Getting Active in Advocacy, where we have guests from the ALP-NC or ALP program. November 18th, one of my favorites, Joy, Fun, and Laughter, where we're going to have recordings and live performances, talents, joke telling, music, and comedy, and everything in between. December 16th, we have Giving Back as a Self-Advocate, in honor of giving back for the sake of the holiday season, and hopefully year-round. And then last but absolutely not least, take a look at the Facebook for the Disability Action Network of North Carolina, as they launch a voter education program, which is a free virtual webinar. Just a quick note, you'll have to click on the Facebook page and then scroll to where that the registration event itself, and I think they update that Facebook page pretty frequently, so definitely jump on that if you're interested. And my goodness, thank you all. With 1 minute to spare, we did it again, Melissa and staff. I never know how we're able to do it. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you first and foremost to Christy Kirk for your wonderful presentation and willingness to answer questions from all of us. Thank you so much to our Spanish interpreters. Thank you so much to our ASL interpreters. Thank you so much to our captioner. Thank you so much to all the staff that work tirelessly behind the scenes to make this happen. And above all, thank you so much to all of our advocates and self-advocates here listening and sharing. We would not be here without you, and the Self-Advocate discussion series would not be a thing if you were not here being yourselves and caring about what's happening in the IDD community. So we appreciate you so very much, and we look forward to seeing you next month, where we will be discussing INDEEM. So anyone interested in employment, be sure to register for that. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks, everyone.
So just really quickly, I'm sorry, the NCATP link that was on your resource slide is not our current website. So I have posted our current link in the chat.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much for correcting that.
It was one, and I don't know, they can't seem to get it to go away. But yep, no problem.
I will, and I'll make sure the proper link is in our resources, everyone.
Thank you.
And look at that, it's being edited in real time. Once again, thank you so much, everyone. We look forward to seeing you next time.